as difficult to trace. For remember this, botulism is food poisoning. If I had not found the stem of that glass it would be absolutely impossible to show that Werner died from anything on earth but bad food. That is why I do not even take time to analyze the stomach contents. That is why I say we are confronted by an arch scoundrel of highest intelligence and downright cleverness. More? Kennedy paused for emphasis. I realize now the presence of a grim, invisible menace. It has just now been driven home to me. The botulin, with its deadly paralyzing power, sealed Werner's tongue even while he tried to tell me what he knew. Mackay was tremendously impressed by Kennedy's explanation. "Does this mean," he asked, "that the guilty man or woman is some outsider? Those we have figured as possible suspects would hardly have this detailed knowledge of poisons." "There are two possibilities," Kennedy answered. "The real person behind the two murders may have employed someone else to carry out the actual killing, a hypothesis I do not take seriously. Or," again he paused, "this may be a case of someone with intelligence starting out upon his career of crime intelligently by reading up on his subject. It is as simply to learn how to use crotulin or botulin, toxin, or any number of hundreds of deadly substances as it is to obtain the majority of them. In fact, if people generally understood the ease with which whole communities could be wiped out, and grasped that it could be done so as to leave virtually no clue to the author of the horror, they might not sleep as soundly at night as they do. The saving grace is that the average criminal is often clever, but almost never truly scientific. Unfortunately, we have to combat one who possesses the latter quality to a high degree." "What is the invisible menace of which you spoke, Craig?" I inquired. "The possibility of another murder before we can apprehend the guilty person or gain the evidence we need." "Good heavens!" I imagine I blanched. "You mean—" "Werner was struck down, apparently, for no reason but that he had guessed the identity of the villain. There is a second man in the company who has certain suspicions and is acting upon them. If he is on the right trail, by any chance—" Kennedy shrugged his shoulders soberly. "Shirley?" "Exactly. And there is still another possibility." "What is that?" "Here in this laboratory I have blood spots made on the portieres at the house of Phelps by the man who removed the needle. Probably the unknown himself, possibly his or her agent. In any case, it is a clue and the only direct and infallible clue in existence to the criminal. Also I have the evidence of the snake venom and of the botulin toxin here. Sooner or later the person who killed Werner because he suspected things will wake up to the fact that we possess tangible proof against him." I grew pale. "You mean, then, that you may be attacked yourself? That even I—" Kennedy smiled, unafraid. But from the expression in his eyes, I knew that he took the thought of our possible danger very seriously. Chapter 24